Greetings, this is the man who pretends to be Charles Darwin, and I'm making yet another video from the forest floor, in a forest that's near Tulsa, Oklahoma. And when you see plants and you see how beautiful they are, the first thing you think of is, what is it? Now, that may not be the most important question to ask. You might say, how does it make its food? Through photosynthesis in this case. And how does it grow? What role does it play in the ecosystem of which it is a part? But many of us, the first thing we think of is, what is it? And it used to be that to identify a plant, you would need to have extensive botanical knowledge, including knowledge of a long list of descriptive terms. And for instance, this turns out to be Parthenocissus quinquefolia, the Virginia creeper. And you have to know that, for instance, these are the 5 leaflets of the leaf, and that it is a vine that grows either on tree trunks or along the forest floor. And if you are able to recognize the characteristics of the leaflets, as well as the fact that there are 5 leaflets, which is a relatively uncommon circumstance among plants in this part of the country, then you would be able to identify it as a Virginia creeper. Now, this is important because a lot of people think that this is poison oak. I've had people stay away from it with the mistaken assumption that if they touch it, they'll develop a skin rash. Now, there is plenty of poison ivy around here with 3 leaflets rather than 5. And that you do need to be careful of. So it turns out that an extensive knowledge of botany can help you to walk through a forest without being afraid of everything. You know how to recognize poison ivy, therefore you can stay away from it. Now, what I'm telling you about in this video is that there is an app, a free app known as iNaturalist. There may be others, but that's the one that I use. And if you take a photo of the plant and upload it, then the computer will use artificial intelligence, AI, to figure out which species it is. Now, it identified it the first time when I tried this as Parthenocissus quinquefolia. It was right the first time, and this artificial intelligence is almost always right, which is kind of amazing because the artificial intelligence generates its own algorithms for how to identify the plants. So what happens is you get lots of images that botanists say, this is Parthenocissus quinquefolia, and then the computer figures out what algorithms it's going to use. It may or may not use leaflets. It may or may not use the jagged leaf edges, for instance, to identify this plant. But whatever it does, and we don't have to know what it is, we may not be able to know what it is. That is how artificial intelligence will generate correct identification almost every time. And so this video is about plants. It's also about artificial intelligence and how it can be creepily accurate. And if your job depends upon something that artificial intelligence could do, perhaps do better and faster and cheaper, then you might be trying to find something else to do, or you might try to find something within your field of work, whether it's botany or graphic design or whatever it might be. Find some way in which you can make yourself indispensable, make yourself valuable, do something that artificial intelligence cannot, because artificial intelligence is on its way in. It's going to change every aspect of our lives, including scientific research. This is Charles Darwin, tally ho, and amen.